back. Day 2 of RX25. It's so hard to believe we've been here for a day already. Isn't it great to be able to celebrate together the numbers and statistics you've seen that actually represent impact? It is so fun to celebrate, and this morning's community keynote is one of my favorite times all year. So let's jump into the state of rock. And we're going to look at some numbers, but we look at numbers because they represent stories. And stories represent life change. And each of you has been a part of some incredible stories this year. Yeah, that's me. So let's start with a breakdown of RX25. We've made a few intentional changes to the event this year that you've probably noticed if you've been here before. Not only did we change our location, but we changed the structure. So yesterday was RX Vision. It was a great day for people to come in, if they had just one day, busy executives and leaders, to hear what this whole rock thing is that they've been hearing about from you for several years, and to try and understand what is the vision in a pretty polished executive level experience. And now we're part of the full event, and these next 2 days are RX Connect. And RX Connect is a time of unstructured networking and connection, in addition to the content sessions that you've been used to in our previous conferences. So, as usual, we'll ask for your feedback at the end of the event, and we know you'll be honest with us because you always are, but we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. We did some things this year as well to reduce meals that happen right here, although locating downtown gives you lots of options. We did that specifically because it allowed us to cut the ticket prices directly in half. So we're trying to make that a really accessible experience for you. And you wouldn't believe what food costs inside convention centers. Okay, now though, let's dive into some of the details. 811 registrants this year. That's right. That's something to celebrate. That's about a 20% increase in our attendance from last year, and of course is our highest number ever. Many of you here today are instrumental in helping us reach this number of attendees due to your personal invites. So I just want to say thank you to you. That level of engagement is what's helping the community grow. Why does the growth of the community matter? Because what we're doing here is mission work. It's not just about tools, and it's not just about the people that we know, that we get to see, that we really like. It's about pushing this mission forward together, and this event helps us do that. Okay, so let's break down that number. How many people are new this year? More than 300. Yeah, hands up, that's right. Welcome. My best personal advice to you if you're new is to realize that between now and the end of the conference, you're gonna have so many content opportunities that you cannot possibly take them all in. So if you're in a team, divide and conquer. Don't worry though, there's a content subscription I'll tell you a little bit more about later today that will allow you to subscribe to content so you don't have to feel like you're gonna miss everything, because the real key is getting some great connections you can carry with you throughout the year. You'll wanna use that time wisely. Okay, continuing to look at a breakdown, we had about 63 of our registrants that came specifically for Vision Day with the one-day ticket. So that tells us that was a really good opportunity. I've had a chance to talk to a few of you who told me that your leaders loved the chance to come in. So that's great. Continue to provide feedback for us if this seemed like a great structure. 744 of you elected to stay for the entire conference, and that's actually all of us here today. That's about 92% of our attendance of this event. 243 organizations are represented at the conference this year, and that includes organizations literally from around the world, based here locally in the US, as well as Canada, Guatemala, and Australia. Let's say welcome to our international friends as well. As I mentioned, we have a lot of sessions you can attend, 66 in this particular conference. Don't feel like you have to attend them all. That would be pretty hard. But you'll have a chance now to get a little more into the weeds with Rock over the next 2 days. And we have a lot of networking and connection opportunities that you'll see open up on the last half day of the conference. That's something we encourage you to get really involved in. But we also want you to know that we have a room called the Merge Field that you can see in the maps in your app. This is an open room. So it's another concept we have for you. If you need a chance to continue a hallway conversation, reconvene with your staff after you've had some great conversations or content that you want to talk about, go deeper with a vendor here that you're interested in their services, all of this is possible in the merge field. So that's going to be in our downstairs location. We have 22 opportunities that we're calling RX Connect that are specifically on Thursday afternoon that are a little more open and networking based. That's kind of a new thing we're trying to. So we did high polish on Tuesday, and we're doing very organic networking on Thursday afternoon. Let's just say that out of all of these opportunities, you will not run out of things to talk about or people to talk with. So make the best use of the time that you can. All right, let's move on to some things about Spark. This is tracking the organization that develops and builds the platform and the community. If you're new to Rock, Spark is the nonprofit that owns Rock. Here are some things to know about that. GitHub. We publish our code to an open repo. That means anyone can see it. That's kind of unusual. We currently have over 44,000 commits recorded in our GitHub repository. For those of you non-coders, a commit is kind of like a save. Every day, all of our developers commit their code into the branch of all the things they've been working on that particular day. That's one of their requirements. So you can always see the latest bits of what's happening inside Rock, and that's valuable for you. This slide is wrong, because as of late last night when I last checked, we actually just had 12 open issues. I know. So not only can you see our code, you can see our issues. Talk about seeing behind the curtain. Most places would not let you see their code, but definitely wouldn't show you their issues. Over the years, we've been building Rock for a long time now, we've had 5,200 issues thereabouts reported. This is normal. When you build a code base, especially one as flexible as Rock and as large, very broad, very deep, having issues is just kind of a fact of life. Now, most organizations won't let you see that, and they also have a backlog that's probably bigger than 12 open issues. I hope you can see the attention our team's been placing toward handling issues this year. They've been resolved quickly, and I know many of you have been reporting things for us. Your reporting is great. The more information you can put inside the issues you're reporting, the more we can validate and confirm. And some of you rock stars are helping with that confirmation. Truly a community effort. Our podcast. Why are we talking about our podcast? Well, we've had over 55,000 downloads since we started it. We've published 199 episodes. And our podcast is the single best way to stay in touch with the core team and find out what's happening in Rock between RX conferences. So if that's not something you're following, we suggest that you do that today, before you leave. Make sure that you're following our podcast, subscribe to it wherever you get your podcasts, and stay up to date. This is the best way to get great content. We've been putting a huge focus on this year. We provide leadership lessons, technology leadership. We've been hearing from a lot of you the kinds of content you like to have, and we're really leaning toward that. So check those out. Great way to stay in touch and just get some great personal information as well. Rocket Chat is also really important in the Rock community, and 515 of you are actively involved on a monthly basis in helping answer questions, ask questions, and generally engage and support each other in the use of Rock. This is the key to a community-supported platform, and your engagement in this way makes Rock successful. Rock classes. So we offer a variety of classes, everything from the Rock Master Class, which some just finished last week. How do you feel? Master Class and then back-to-back RX. That's a lot to take in. The Master Class is about a week-long general overview of how to use Rock. We also have a SQL class, a Lava class, check-in, and finance. These are great ways to train your staff and even reinforce some Rock information yourself. For those of you who want to go deeper into classes, you might consider what's available. We have signage outside, and you can use your app to scan the interest list and be added to those classes. Now, I want you to stay tuned because we're looking for ways to make the class attendance even easier and more accessible next year. So continue to watch out for that, and we'll have more information coming soon. In particular, the Lava class is one that we rolled out last year at RX, and that's one that we'd heard by demand that you wanted for a couple of years. We've had about 74 attendees since we started it, so that's been something people have been excited about. Community hubs. If you remember last year, we probably called them regional communities, but in the past 12 months, we've actually rolled out a topical hub concept as well. And so now we have both topical hubs and community hubs. They're a great way to connect with people who are similar to you, either in the region that you live in or in some topic of interest to you. Specifically, we currently have 2 topical hubs in this new area. We have one for digital ministry and one for data analytics. These 2 hubs hold meetups that are mostly online, and you can actually go straight to the community site and sign up for them, so you can be involved as well. They have Rocket Chat channels and have a lot of great information they share on those 2 topics. So those are the topical hubs. We also have regional hubs. Our regional hubs are ones that are located in areas where we have a high density of Rock churches. We have 27 of those currently. And you can search for that on our community site. We have a nice map and an ability for you to see if there's a hub in your area. If there is, I encourage you to get involved. It's a great way to build relationship with other Rock churches that are near you and get together in person and virtually a few times throughout the year. In fact, I think some are happening on Thursday afternoon right here at RX. Now, if you look on the community site and there's no regional hub near you, you know what that means, right? You're just the person for the job. There's a QR code at the info center downstairs that you can scan to sign up for more information on that. And we can help you get connected with a hub near you or help you learn how to start one. Where all do we have these regional hubs? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You're really awake this morning. That's great. We have regional hubs in 3 countries, the US, Canada, and Australia. Guatemala, we're looking at you. You're next, I think. Here in the US, we have regional hubs in 25 cities and 20 states, and when I look at that map, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how much of the United States is covered in our hubs, right? Like, that's great, but I also see pockets of opportunity. So take a look at that and pop by the info center if you're interested in helping start one where we don't have one currently. It might mean even helping to build up the number of Rock churches in your region. All right, let's talk about some community metrics. This year, we always love to dive into the numbers that make up the Rock community. So we're gauging health and trajectory, but we're talking about numbers. We have 462 churches running on Rock right now. Now, if you compare it across a broad platform of church management systems, that may not seem like a huge number. But it's interesting because many of the largest churches in the country and in the world run on Rock, and that's a different number than quantity. So we're going to look at how to measure the impact in a different way. All right, let's walk through this. So Rock churches include some of the churches that are the smallest churches and the largest churches. One fairly new offering is a managed cloud-hosted option for Rock, and this allows churches to have a SaaS-like experience where they don't need to worry about or even hear the word server. Fantastic. You worry about Rock and let an expert deal with servers. There are currently 39 churches running on a managed Rock-hosted platform. Many of these churches are ones that we're calling essentials churches. On the opposite side of the scale, Outreach just published their latest large churches list, and 39 organizations that run on Rock are on the published Outreach top largest churches in the country list as well. So 39 on each end. It's a kind of funny anchor. And let's break that number down a little bit. Here you go. You can see that we have a breakdown between top 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100. And there you are. 80% of the top 5 largest churches in the country run on Rock. 90% of the top 10 churches, 68% of the top 25, 44% of the top 50, and again, the 39% of the total overall. So there is a very high impact here when you look at the total number of attendees. In fact, if you look across the spectrum of all Rock churches, we can see that over 1.31 million people attended a Rock church last weekend. That's a pretty significant number. That means that our churches are having an impact on that many people, and collectively, we have a lot of opportunity. You can see the growth in weekend attendees from early days until now, and that's something that continues to grow, and it grows at a more exponential rate than the number of churches actually on Rock. Now, we also know that people tend to come to church not necessarily every week, but every few weeks, and so we want to do a measure of total person records. Person records are also inside a Rock database because they're people they've interacted with. Maybe they're part of their church, maybe they're part of their community, but there is a potential for interaction and impact there. And across all Rock churches, that's 30 million people. 30 million people, or approximately 9% of the entire US population, are inside a Rock database. Wow, the potential for impact here is pretty large. Altogether, our shared mission-focused innovations, the things we were talking about yesterday morning about what's coming and what we can be a part of, that could have a positive impact on almost a tenth of the US population today. How do we add a little power to the people, right? How do we do this? One of the ways we discussed yesterday was potentially equipping them with content. The universal human experience means that we all go through situations and seasons of hard things. And when people enter hard things, they are open. And this is happening to all the people across our databases. What are we doing to actively help people take their next steps on their faith? To actively provide people with the resources they need when they need them? What are we doing with the people that don't attend our church? How are we interacting with them when they need us most? One incredible way to do that is through delivering the resources they need when they need them. What if altogether, all of our Rock churches could be a part of a grassroots revival of providing biblically based content to people right when they need it and are open to it? Life can be very challenging. People consume more content today than they ever have before, and the church is used to producing fantastic content. We just need to do it in a slightly different way to be available for the needs of our people and our community. How do we deliver positive, morally grounded information to them on a platform that encourages them to connect? That's the question in front of the Rock community now. That's something the core team's very interested in. We have the platform, and we collectively have the ability to make it happen. Let me revisit a statistic John mentioned yesterday. If every Rock church had just one article that they could publish, staff or volunteer written, every week, we would have 20,000 content items by the end of the year. And we're specifically talking here about felt need content that meets people where they are in a hurting situation, with morally grounded content to help them make the connections and the resources they need and turn their hearts. We all have the ability to make this happen. We're really excited about it. Challenging or exciting, the human experience means we go through these opportunities where we're open to connection. Here are some examples of ideas of felt need content, right? People need to hear about things that might be related to marriage. Maybe they're related to the death of a spouse. How about your children moving from one grade to another, moving from elementary school to middle school? Churches should be doing what schools are already modeling today. Schools are currently pushing content to parents that say, as your child moves into middle school, here are some things that you can talk to them about. Here's how to open a conversation with them. Here's some resources about the changes that they may be going through. We have a strong community. We have a lot of potential. This is a need that we could actually tackle and make a huge dent on ourselves. So rather than each of us trying to replicate or take this out on our own, how do we action this and move it forward to join together? I have an idea. Let's collaborate. We can do this together. If putting felt need content together and producing this for all churches to use through a shared content library, and for us to share even beyond the Rock community with other churches, if that's something you're interested in helping us organize, scan this QR code to join the interest list. Spark is interested in helping organize and coordinate the effort so that we can maximize each individual church's contributions. We don't want to step on toes as far as what content's being created with over-duplication, but there's so much need, and with great organization, this can be done. What we need are people who are interested in building up staff and volunteer content teams and committing to helping produce that content. There are still details to work out, but you can be a big part of it. We'll help coordinate this, and your volunteers and staff can help make a big impact. Now, this is a very tangible way to make an impact on millions of potential people, but we do need your help, and we're using this as a gauge of interest. So if there's a great deal of interest, this will get a high level of focus from us after the conference. I think I've left the screen up long enough that you should be able to get that code. Great. Perfect. Let's move on. Now let's talk a little bit about the Rock platform. So an initiative like this content team is really only possible because of the Rock community plus the Rock platform. And the platform is totally unique, as you know. There are lots of opportunities for collaboration. It's extremely flexible. The community is really unique, and it goes deep into digital ministry. So let's review a little bit about what sets it apart. As John shared yesterday, we're adding a fifth circle of things that make Rock really unique right here, and that brings in the magic. Rock is not just church management. It also is communications, engagement, digital publishing, and now AI. And our features span all of these. The deep integration of these tools provides these ministry magic opportunities, and that's just not possible on other platforms. They reach people right where they are with right what they need. And often, in the past, we've been trying to find multiple tools to put these same things together, and Rock is now making it smooth. In fact, although Rock isn't multiple tools, it's one, it's kind of helpful to use an analogy of an integrated suite of tools. So go with me here for just a minute, and let's look at all of these potential features available in Rock. I don't think there's a church here, or maybe in the whole community, that uses every feature currently inside Rock. Is there anyone? There's a lot coming out, and even more coming. So let's look at what's possible. Let's look at this integrated suite concept, because when you adopt a feature, many times you move out of another platform where you were having your service provided and into Rock. These additional platforms are very expensive, so moving them under the Rock umbrella is a huge cost savings to your team. It not only unlocks budget dollars, but it also simultaneously unlocks deeper insights, because what you're doing is moving data out of separate, disparate systems into one database that allows your digital publishing and your personalized ministry to move to new levels. So let's consider how Rock today is a little like an integrated, all-inclusive suite of tools that brings a big benefit to churches in the community. We will not go through every feature. We will go through some of the main ones that you are able to move from an expensive paid system directly into Rock. Let's start with the DISC and spiritual gifts assessments. In fact, there are 5 assessments that we co-built with Healthy Growing Leaders. These are things that you can give your staff and your groups leaders. They're totally free inside Rock. Each of these, if you use a paid service, can run $15 to $20 and really limits your ability to get to know people and help people connect with their volunteer roles that match their personalities. They can help your small group leaders connect with and work through conflict inside their small groups. This opens up quite a bit more use for you for personality tools, where you can help people plug into the roles and understand each other in ways that produces longevity for both volunteers and staff. In addition to that, we have communication tools, a whole suite of communication tools. We simply can't go into all the details, but you've heard what's coming, especially yesterday. Email, SMS, and push notifications, drag and drop template builders, drip campaign tools, very deep analytics, and more. You can now move your communications, your campaign tracking, and even more directly inside Rock, and it all works together. You're not maintaining integrations. It's all happening natively. So this can reduce a pretty heavy budget line item from tools like HubSpot and other tools that can be pretty expensive. Now you're able to get what you need accomplished inside Rock. And again, you're adding to that data that helps you know your people well. Additionally, we have digital document signing that allows you to move from a sign now or a DocuSign, which can be very pricey, directly into Rock. You can store your documents inside Rock. You can see immediately. You can launch workflows. You can know if your camp registrants have signed the things that they need to. This happens directly inside the Rock platform. Each of these features are things that our development team carefully crafted and now maintains. So consider on the outside, DocuSign builds and maintains document signing. The Rock team is building and maintaining document signing and communications, and right, as this list goes on. So there's a lot. There's a huge benefit to you, in addition to reduced price. Now, the Rock platform also allows you to build websites directly in the platform, not connected, not linked, but native sites. This allows you, when you have a shared database, to now use your Lava Magic tools and communicate to a person so their experience on your website is tailored to them. You can have one website, one URL, that reaches your audience of the community that lives near you and says, this is a little bit about what our church is like, come visit us. And a completely different experience for your members and attendees. Take this next step. We know where you are and what you need. Here's some information for your fourth grader from this past weekend. Here's a men's or women's ministry event coming up. Same URL, totally different experience because your database is shared. Additionally, we have Rock mobile apps and TV apps with the same kind of concept, all using the same tools behind the scenes, consolidating work for your staff. They don't now have to enter sermon series into multiple platforms, and making a smooth user experience for your people who don't have to continue logging into all of these different platforms. This is a much more streamlined workflow, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And more recently, the learning management system. Learning management systems are so pricey that many churches have not been able to afford them at all. And others are spending a significant budget line item on them. They can be critical for churches if you want to make sure your volunteers are going through certain curriculum before they work with children, if you want to onboard staff in a certain way, if you have various theology classes or church classes you want people to go through. There are so many applications. And this is now available directly inside Rock. And the feature set is just getting started. So go back to that analogy with me again. It's kind of like this big integrated suite of tools, right? Rock is not just like this, oh, this is how we run our church, not just administration, not just unique tools for engagement, communications, digital publishing, and AI, but ones that meet your needs and allow you to reduce your budget line items in a way that brings you value and savings that's so unique. So those are some of the ways Rock is really unique. And here's what we should think about. In a typical model, we would take any one of these things, and we would say, for instance, the Rock Learning Management System, fantastic, let's segment it. This is its own market vertical. Let's package it up. We'll put a great price tag on it. We could put half the price of what other learning management systems are. Benefit to you, reduced price, subscribe for this particular feature. And we could do that with each of these features that we've discussed. But instead, that's not the way the Rock model works. We don't want access to be restricted to costly individual subscriptions. We don't want to have data segmented and access reduced, which ultimately means reduced ministry opportunity down the road. So let's take a look at what makes the Rock model different. We already mentioned that it's open source code, right? So you can see the code online. If anything ever happens to the core team, you can see all of our code right there. It's openly licensed as well for any religious nonprofit. That's a protection for you, the church. There have been instances in the past where an organization's leaders, either they've changed or they've changed, and that's not in the best interest of the people that are on the platform. If anything were ever to happen on that side, You are openly licensed to use Rock in any way that you see fit. Rock is also owned by a nonprofit. As I mentioned, Spark Development Network is a nonprofit. It cannot be sold for profit. That takes so many things off the table. Rock was built for the church. It cannot be sold to the highest bidder. It cannot be tied to a new agenda that's in the best interest of an investor. Not only that, but Spark is governed by an active board of directors that are involved in and care for the church today. This is another protection built into the Rock model. As you know, Rock is also supported by donations. No pricey license fees, donation-based. Just as churches that use Rock rely on the generosity of your members and attendees, we rely on the generosity of the churches that use Rock. And we work hard to bring added value. We work hard to bring additional tools under the suite of Rock tools to make your life easier, to make your ministry more powerful, and to save you money in the meantime. And let me tell you, this style of working, this kingdom work that we're doing here under the Rock model is not easy. But it is the model God's called us to, and we see that with your help, it is working. The Rock model was built for the church. It's totally unique. That means it's harder. It's much less profitable than typical marketplace norms. But really, isn't this how the church should work? Shouldn't we collaborate and share? Shouldn't the work we're doing benefit you and the work you're doing benefit us? And shouldn't we do that collectively? This is how we accomplish things in the kingdom. So here it is again, the integrated suite of tools concept. I just want to mention the value of Rock is off the charts. Can you see that? Are you seeing that at your organization today? Some organizations were paying more for just one of these 6 tools I've mentioned here than for all of the services inside Rock. And as we've added these features into Rock and increased our team's quantity of code to support and maintain and enhance, we've not packaged them up for individual sale to make sure that they each become their own profit center. No, we've not set a separate paywall around them because our goal, our heart, is that you have the tools you need at the lowest price point possible for all of us to maintain and move that forward. We also have not increased our donation rate at a rate that's applicable to what we've brought in. We do have to increase our rate from time to time due to things like inflation, due to things like the growth in our team that we need to have to support the growing code base. And you've probably received communication about donation rate already this year. Currently, the donation rate we have in 2025 was set in 2024. And it's a recommended rate of $4.10 per average weekend attendee per year. So for a church of 1,000, that would be a $4,100 contribution annually, which many divide up monthly. Now last year, we had originally said when we hit this donation rate, we'll move to $4.60 in 2025. But we tightened things up and we reanalyzed things. And you may remember at the end of last year, we said, nope, we're not going to do it. We're going to stick with $4.10. And we're going to defer that until 2026. Well, we've taken another hard look, and we're happy to say that we do have to increase our donation rate, but we are only going to take it to $4.45. So we've delayed and deferred as much of that cost as possible because that's the heart of what we're doing. We're still below our originally planned increase, and we're about a year and a half behind that. And our goal in this is that no church is left behind. We realize that church budget years and fiscal years don't always align. And when we set a line in the sand and say, for 2026, it will be this amount, what we're looking for is a communication. If your budget year starts in April and you need to have some adjustment or some grace, we'll provide you exactly that grace. We just need to move along together. So please stay in communication with us. Make sure this year to review your attendance number. Make sure that's still accurate. That should be an annual review. And then you can go ahead and set your new commitment rate for 2026, including the start date. So if you're not able to start until a couple of months later, include that start date, and that provides all the communication we need. There's an option for you to leave a note as well. You can do all of this on your community profile. You can also reach out to us directly to see what the options are in your case. So our goal, again, no church left behind, but together we are marching forward into a very deep, broad, flexible digital ministry suite of tools that allows us to connect with our people in ways never before possible. And we do have to make sure it's funded, but we want to do this in a way that's sustainable for everyone. One of the ways we've done that is we have a grant process. We, to my knowledge, have never declined a grant request that's come in. These are intended for churches that are small, new, or facing a hardship. They're typically a step-down grant that gives them additional extra time to move toward the recommended donation, and we're so happy to be able to provide these grants. Now, what you need to know as donors to Spark is that dollars are not changing hands. This is a rate forgiveness, so it's a reduced income donation rate for Spark. But this is something that we're so thrilled to be able to do, because our greatest goal is a community that together extends grace and supports each other as we tackle huge ministry impact. And this is something we also want to model. So let's sum it all up. God's in the mix. We're having miraculous results. And you're getting more, a lot more, for a little more. And we're doing our best to help make that as sustainable as possible. Our hope is that you can see that our team is committed to maximizing your investment dollars and God's blessing in the incredible results that we're celebrating here this morning. Let's talk about our team, our growth and focus. One major focus for us this year, which you've probably deduced, has been AI. And we've been doing a lot of fun things, a lot of great things. Of course, we encourage our staff to maximize their time by incorporating ChatGPT as often as possible. And did you receive a welcome message this morning, or yesterday morning, from Chip? A little audio file welcoming you to the conference that was personalized and done through AI. That was a fun little prototype, right? It's probably a little rough, but we're prototyping and playing with things that are fun. But our dev team has invested serious time, and we've invested serious money in productivity tools through AI, and that's having a major impact. We have an internal team that's entirely focused on AI, as you've seen from what John shared yesterday, and there's more content about this later this morning in John's session. So that would be an excellent one for a content subscription as well. If you have multiple places to go, that's one you'll probably want to revisit more than once. So feel free to attend something else and subscribe for that content. Additionally, our team's been very focused on next gen. So we had a whole presentation about the features that our Rock team's been building and delivering yesterday. But don't forget, we're in a multi-year project to move all of Rock to a new tech stack, because eventually it's going to be deprecated. And so it's important that we stay current. This is a lot like building Rock twice. So building Rock once, pretty hard. Building Rock twice at the same time on the fly, there are a lot of moving pieces, right? We do, in fact, have to rewrite each and every block of Rock, in addition to other framework and UI changes. We started this in 2021, and we're continuing to work on it because it's important to the community that we're on a current tech stack. Here's our progress. We currently have about 45% of all Rock blocks converted to Obsidian, which is our next-gen technology stack. And overall, we are probably about 60% along the way. So we'll continue on this. It is a multi-year effort. You can get more information on this topic by attending John's session on Thursday morning at 9. All right, let's keep talking. Our team has been moving hard and fast in 3 big directions. We've been doing some growing when it comes to the development, design, and documentation of Rock. And we are not where we want to go yet, but we are putting a lot of effort in on those 3 fronts. We've been striving to take our work to the next level. That includes R&D into new things, it includes feature development, but it also includes team development. So we've been refining our team to include the best and brightest, improving our internal processes, and bringing new innovations across each domain. This is really extra hard. If you build one platform for one application that's used on one set of servers and is understood by one organization, that's hard, but it's the framework is very manageable. In Rock, it's so flexible, and it's used in so many different ways. It's very, very difficult to do Rock development. Now, let's also add to the fact that innovation and extensibility are our core values. And our team works iteratively because we love Rock's innovation and extensibility. These two factors are at war with quality and performance. We use the words at war because we're really serious. This is not, they don't get along well together. So if you want high quality, high performance at all times, you end up with a platform that doesn't do anything new. Nothing. That's not what we're doing. We are leaning into new, which means sometimes there's a little bit more to work through when you work iteratively, right? So we prioritize innovation and extensibility, and we manage quality and performance. So if we look at our team growth, this is a platform that's open source, almost infinitely flexible, can be hosted on the cloud, can be hosted on-prem, can be hosted in managed hosting, and customized through so many different ways. It's used by churches that from 100 attendees to 85,000 attendees, and it's put through its paces every weekend. And you use the features well, and you dream of what else could be, and we innovate together. And now we're building it all over again in next gen. And all of this has taught us a few things about ourselves. Rock is almost all things to all people. And designing, developing, and documenting this system is not for the faint of heart. It is much, much harder than it appears. The bottom line is that not every developer has the capability to do this work well. In fact, in the next-gen work that we've been doing, this has highlighted some technical talent ceilings that some of our developers were facing. And you may have seen this in some of the issues that have come out recently on GitHub. Those issues are about a 1 to 2 year delay of when they actually happened. So any issues you see surfacing today would have taken their time to work through our processes. That means that we have a little bit of a lagging indicator, but our team has seen this as well and been working through. In cases where developers were producing quality issues, we have provided coaching and training and evaluations, but we've also had to call our team to make sure that we have only the best developers working on it. So you may also have seen some adjustments on our team itself. We've really taken this to heart, and our leadership's had to make a few tough choices to move the developers away somewhere else that couldn't measure up to the standards we need to have for our quality. And our resulting team that we have today is the strongest and the best that it's ever been, and I want to bring them out to the stage and introduce them to you so you can see who they are and let you know. Come on up. This is a team that's often behind the scenes, but now you have a chance to see them. This team is smaller than we want it to be, but we're intentionally and very carefully growing in recruiting. We have a great recruiting process that we're very careful about. You can see our team spans generations. That's also very intentional. We want to make sure we're providing for training and mentoring into many generations. They're all good generations, guys, I promise. This team is small but mighty. It's the best of the best. It will continue growing. I just wanted to give them a chance to stand on the stage so you could see the work that they're doing. This team is having to repair some things that previous team members have done, but they're doing a great job, and they're setting up for a bright and beautiful future. So thanks for letting me share this team with you. We'll let them go back to coding. And now I'd like to welcome our Director of Strategic Partnerships, Jeremy Hoff, to the stage.
Thanks, Emily. Can you show your appreciation again for Emily and for the team? I'm very excited to be here. Every year I have attended RX. And this is one of the highlights for me, because we get to celebrate you. Celebrating you is a big deal because when we think of you, we think of rock stars, and we think of future rock stars. We believe anybody can be a rock star, and we're here to build you up. To do so, you know what you need to do, or if you don't, I can help you. It's just a matter of helping others, submitting issues, helping to organize issues, writing recipes, being on the chat, and being the support somebody needs in their moment of adrenaline. Y'all had that moment? A little bit of adrenaline? I've been there. And thanks to many of you, it's been helped. So we think of community leaders, and over the years, we have celebrated increased numbers of rock stars, making an impact and growing. We get to talk about 168 of you now, 168 rock stars. If you could please stand, take a moment, and we will recognize you with some applause, appreciation. You'll recognize the rock stars thanks to the orange lanyards. You'll recognize them because you've seen them in the chat. You recognize them because some of them have amazing chat scores. You can be there too. And we would encourage you that from the quietness of your desk or in the evenings or whenever you're at church, keep an eye on things so that when somebody has a need, maybe you can be the one to help fill it. So thank you to the 168 rock stars. Congratulations to you. We appreciate you more than we can ever adequately share. But among the rock stars, there's something we call the Hall of Fame. And this is somebody that we recognize every year, somebody who's gone even further above and beyond. Somebody who's done some really amazing work, some really amazing support, somebody that you might recognize. I'm going to recognize right now Nick Erdo, our commissioner for the Hall of Fame. If you could welcome him to the stage now, give him a round of applause. And as he comes up, the Hall of Fame gets a guitar. It's a good-looking guitar. It's a real guitar. And Nick is going to riff for us right now. No, he's not. But again, this is somebody that has done something more, something extra, really serving the kingdom in imaginative ways, not just for you, but for their church, for all the people that are represented by our churches. And when we talk Hall of Fame, we get to, well, say thanks by giving them a guitar and welcoming them into the Hall of Fame. We have several community leaders, Hall of Famers, that we're going to recognize, and we're going to thank them because although we have 9, 8 of them are here. We're going to welcome to the stage. If we can say thanks to them as they come up. These are guys and girls. Leah, unfortunately, couldn't make it this year, but that have gone over and above and beyond. And you might recognize them from the various ways they have served the church and, most importantly, served the kingdom. And we get to recognize another one today. We get to welcome Tim Lemons. Tim, if you can come on down here. Tim has been extraordinary in the community. And now Tim is going to play some riffs for us. Perfect. This is the elite. They're here because, well, without them, we may not be here. Rock is special because of the community. It's extra special because of our rock stars, and super special thanks to this group here. One more round of applause, please. All right, come on down, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we move on to the Gold Circle Awards. Now, if you have not been here, the Gold Circles are something that we award to you, to the churches. Churches that have done something extraordinary, something special, some kind of a function, some kind of a feature, some kind of an implementation that are just really stands above. And we recognize these because we want to inspire you. We want to show you what can be done, what's possible. And so we're excited to do that. The first thing I need to share is that we have a panel of judges. Many of them are in the audience with you, so you can talk to them how we arrived at this moment, at this day for the Gold Circles. We get submissions for various features, and we ask them to painstakingly and prayerfully review the options, review the submissions, and choose the best of the best. So thank you to our judges. If you can give them a little bit of appreciation. Rock stars and Hall of Famers who took the extra time to help us with this. So we appreciate them. The first is the ministry use of rock. And Nick, who's playing Vanna, thank you, Nick, is going to show us what these look like. I'm going to invite up Venture Church for the ministry use of rock, the winner, you with their 7 marks of discipleship. This was a DIY. In other words, they did it all internally. It's a digital assessment that helps individuals evaluate their spiritual growth and take personalized next steps. It uses Rock's built-in features. That's a big deal right there. Encourages meaningful conversation and empowers leaders to guide and support people on a shared path towards discipleship. Congratulations. Another DIY project, if I can invite up Life Church, who's winning the Search and Prospect Follows-Up Prospect. Now note, this is the ministry use of rock. We couldn't choose a clear winner, so we're giving 2 awards. So if Life Church can come on up. This is a scalable, data-driven solution. It streamlines group discovery. Who knows that finding groups is a big deal? Finding community is a big, big deal. It enhanced the life group search with filters for location, season of life, and topic. It reduced the prospective follow-up time from most of a week to just a couple of days. That's a big deal, keeping those people that are in need engaged. And finally, empowers both the intenders and the leaders to quickly connect and build community. Congratulations, Venture Church and Life Church, on the ministry use of rock. Congratulations. Oops, I already gave it away. So Trinity Fellowship, if you can come on up. So the Rock website, in partnership with Triumph Tech, they set up something called Journeys. This is a discipleship tool, and if you haven't seen it, download their app. It will be very inspiring. I did it myself once I heard about it. It gives me a daily devotional reading, scripture, resources to build good spiritual habits. It's flexible, it's accessible, it's on my phone, and equips me with all the resources I need. So this is another ministry use of rock. Apparently it's a 3-way tie. That's pretty amazing. Thank you, Trinity Church. Thanks, Life Church. Thanks, Venture Church. Well done with your... All right, now we have website design. And there are a couple churches that have won multiple awards. Trinity is among them. Congratulations, Trinity, for your website that builds a personalized experience. Remember, Rock is about personalization, and they have done it. It's about journey integration, so not just on their mobile phone, but on the website, it follows. and about community connection. So, Terry, if you could hold both awards proudly. You get to flex both muscles. Congratulations, Trinity Fellowship. All right, so now we're on to a website ministry function. LCBC, if you can come on down. Churches are about impact. LCBC figured out a way to enhance the display of all the stats that they do with their year-end impact landing page. Our impact's important. It's okay to show off. It's okay to flex. And built with Triumph Tech, they introduced a fully modular structure using content channels. They enable staff to create an update. And it's scalable. It's a long-term solution, so they can build impact pages for years to come. Congratulations, LCBC. Mobile app. Who does not have a mobile app yet? That's okay. There are a lot of them out there. And when you're ready, you will have a lot to be inspired by. Mobile apps are cool. Mobile apps are another place to engage. And we're really excited about how the Summit Church has built their mobile app for inspiration for all of us. Summit Church, if you can come on down. In partnership with Triumph Tech, it's a fresh look. There's improved functionality. There's a daily revival experience. They use Rock Mobile, of course. And they build engagement thanks to a device that almost everybody, including some very small children, carry in their pockets. If there's a young child in your life, get them an app for the church, which is better than TikTok. But their mobile app, it does amazing things. Check it out. Congratulations, Summit Church. All right, when it comes to the mobile app ministry function, we're excited about LCBC's daily experience. It's not just Terry, it's Adam who's going to have a double-fisted award today. Their daily experience, it's scripture reading, horizontal or vertical videos for devotional, horizontal and vertical. Remember when vertical was cool and horizontal was cool? I can't keep up, all the cool kids do. But it empowers church staff with an easy, scalable publishing process. And that's the key. It allows the church to be part of that process. It's fully customizable, provides daily content. Congratulations, LCBC. Well done. All right, TV apps. I have an Apple TV. I have several of them. And I download all the church apps I can find. They talked about the content channel, and I think if I just had the one Rock content channel on my Apple TV, I'd be set. For now, I check out your apps, and I appreciate them. Today's TV app design goes to, for those that need a third hand, congratulations to Trinity. The key here is it includes a dedicated page with a clear call to action. Calls to action are big. Connects seamlessly with Rock Mobile. Wow, Rock Mobile, website, app, and TV. That's huge. Strengthens connections and makes discipleship easy. And resources are right there. Congratulations, Trinity Fellowship. Well done. I've got another one for a TV app, a ministry function. We're excited for the Roku app by LCBC. There's a theme here. Congratulations, LCBC. They partnered with Triumph Tech to launch the Roku app, so we have Roku and Apple TV out there. It's a simple branded interface, low cost, widely accessible streaming of weekend messages, full series, classes. Individuals, families, groups stay connected. It's another TV app. It's a great way to meet people where they are. And so if you haven't done one, consider that as part of your digital ministry. Thank you and congratulations to LCBC for another win. Again, what you're seeing here are examples that we can use to inspire us. If your leaders need something to model from, these provide great models. Thank you to our churches. Congratulations on your win. Let's give them a round of applause for the gold circles. All right. It's fun to celebrate, right? It's fun to high five and give kudos to those who've done hard work. I just have a few announcements because we're just about wrapped up here with our first morning session. So thanks for your attention. If you're taking photos, we love them. Tag us in them at hashtag RX25. Social media is big, and your leaders will see what you're up to. They'll know that you're actually at work, even though you're having a good time. And so, as you do, let us know. Rockstar Consults. For those of you that want to talk to a rock star, this is a good chance to get your questions answered, get ideas, get inspiration, get connected to somebody out there that is doing the work. You can check out at the Info Center. That's downstairs on the first floor. They begin tomorrow, Thursday at 1:40. The content subscription is available. And because you attended RX, we have a coupon code just for you, RX Content, that gets you $50 off. This is a way for you to share what you have seen with all those that could not make it. So be sure to check that out. Emily talked about the merge field. Downstairs on the first floor, one of our rooms is the merge field. Open collab, you can go check your emails, connect with others, maybe take a little break from sipping from the fire hose. So we're glad you're here, but we know it's a lot. So take some time for yourself if you need it, or find a buddy, find a friend, and take the time you need. Sponsors have all been moved. Yesterday they were behind us, right over here. But they're all down on the first floor. Thanks to all the rock stars for helping us get them relocated. So this is the last time we're going to be on the third floor. We'll see you down on the first floor. Thanks to all of our sponsors. They make it happen. Emily talked about trying to keep the cost of this conference down, and we do it thanks to our sponsors, their support, and their being here. So give them some love. Definitely pay them a visit and find a way that maybe they can help you take care of the ministry needs you have. Big thanks to IT1. Have you seen the expo they have and all the gear they brought? That's pretty cool, right? Hands-on. So thanks to that.